Okay, it's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, and it is a bottle of their Beer Camp Belgium style black IPA, coming in at 7.7% ABV. Love the artwork on this, love the label. Big fan of Sierra Nevada. They brew some phenomenal beers. They are one of the kind of original craft beer brewers in America, or if not the original, they're one of these breweries that helped to get craft beer off the ground, and they helped to get the word around. So, a Belgium style black IPA, this sounds wonderful. At a guess, I don't read labels, but at a guess, this would have Belgium yeast, American hops, and roasted malt. This is going to be one heck of a brew. Beer in the glass then, look at that, looks like a stout. If that was brought to you and put on the table, you'd say, what a lovely stout. And then when you put your nose into the beer, you'd say, wow, look at them roasted malts, it smells like a stout. But you also get that Belgium yeast, and that's when you start going, wow. And then you get them lovely hops. I imagine Sierra Nevada, it's more than likely going to be American hops. We will have a look. I think I can smell Nelson Sauvin in there, but we'll have a look at the hops in a moment. But being as America's one of the largest hop growing nations in the world, I imagine there's an American hop variety in this. But as I say, I do smell Nelson Sauvin. I'm going to dive into this wonderfully sounding brew. Cheers. Wow. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows. What a beer we've got here. This is 3 big ingredients all attacking each other. It's saying, oh, it's my go. And the other one's saying, oh, it's my go. This is the malt being as bold as you like. Normally the malt kind of makes way for the hops, and it says, we'll give you all the sugar you need for the yeast, to brew the beer, to carbonate the beer, to give it the colour, but we'll let the hops do its job. That's what normally happens in a brew, in an American style brew. But boy, the malt in this beer is fighting, and it's fighting in a big way. It's saying, I'm roasted, I've got chocolate, coffee, caramel, and it's bitter from the malt as well. It's not just saying all the hops, you're giving the bitterness. No, the malt is giving a bit of this bitterness as well, and I love it. I think it's great. Next up then, let's pick up the next flavour. Oh, it's so balanced at the start. It's such a balanced beer. It's so finely balanced, and then right on the back end, there go them hops. They explode on the palate. They give you that lovely lemon, grapefruit, piney little kind of lovely bitterness on the finish. Oh, it's good. It's really good. And then what I'm doing in my mind, you can probably see by now what I'm doing. I'm breaking each flavour up in a time lapse. The next big flavour is that Belgium yeast I mentioned at the start. Let's get that Belgium yeast. Let's give you a little talk about that then. And that Belgium yeast is also up front. It's also at the start. It's not the middle, it's not the end, it's right on the start of the taste. And that is of a dryness. It's the carbonation. It's that kind of slight mustiness you get from that Belgium yeast, and it's a little bit lemony as well. This beer is probably the most mind-boggling beer I've ever reviewed, because I'm standing here, I've just done a 12-hour shift. My job is not the most mentally taxing job in the world, but it is mentally taxing over 12 hours. But I'm still thinking long and hard about this beer, about all the flavours that's going on. But I don't mind, because it's my passion. I'll stand here all day long and talk beer to you guys. It's just the way it is. I kick my shoes back after work. I start to talk about beer. I start thinking about beer. I wonder, for the last 2 hours, whilst I've been eating my evening meal, I've been thinking, what am I going to grab out of that cupboard to review tonight for you guys? And I'm so pleased I picked this beer. It's mentally taxing, the amount of flavours that are in the beer. It's so complex. It's a big, massive, fruity, malty, yeasty bomb, which is taking up a lot of my mental energy just trying to work out what's in this beer. If you like a beer like this, if you like a beer where you're drinking and you're thinking that flavour is totally different from the last flavour, only because your mind is saying, right, what malt is it? What hop is it? What yeast is it? What's the water quality like? Then you will love this beer. It's Sierra Nevada Beer Camp Belgian style black IPA at 7.7% ABV. I'm going to give you my final thoughts and a rating then. Pure bliss. That's all I've got to say. Pure bliss. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Put your comments in the comments box. Please subscribe to our daily beer reviews and cheers.